strong and hearts of fire. Dice in hand, our fates undone. A quest of legends has begun. Echoes in the dungeon deep. Dragons stir from ancient sleep. Warriors shout burst through the night. Together face our fear and fight. Roll the dice, destiny call. Heroes rise, no time for sorrow. Through the loss we carry on. In the end we fight as one. Treasure lost to carry on. In the end we fight as one. Treasure lost to fallen friends. Memories that never end. Sorrow's cut, but courage bleeds. Victory through our darkest needs. Echo chants and wizard's might. Ashes gleaming in the light. Tears and laughs and silent screams. Living through our endless dreams. Roll the dice, destiny calling. Heroes rise, no time for stalling. Through the loss we carry on. In the end we fight as one. Roll the dice, destiny calling. Heroes rise, no time for stalling. Through the loss we carry on. In the end we fight as one.
It went
Welcome
quiet. Oh, there he
to
is.
the dungeon. I didn't go quiet. I'm
Music
here.
ended.
It all
That's right.
stopped.
Guitar solo. That's right. Where are we without a guitar solo?
I want to see you play it live.
Yeah, I could probably dig up a guitar somewhere. I'm sure one of the kids
Yeah.
has one.
Well,
You
you
know?
know, before the arthritis, I was pretty good at Guitar Hero.
Right? Dude, I was so good at that freaking game. Like, I remember, and there's pictures, because we didn't have video cameras back then because they were reel to reel. You know, it was 1950 something.
Yeah.
There are pictures
You mean
where
1850?
right. So we used to like we worked second shift, so all of us foundry guys would get together after work and like play some Guitar Hero, and they weren't good at it, but I played way too much of it. So like I was playing on expert and all this stuff, and I'm just like, you know, just giving it a roll. Marsland dying this night after the other week. Yes, he is. But see, they would want to
Rude.
play. They would want to play on like beginner. So I'm like, all right. So when we would face off, I'd put the guitar behind my head, just play it behind my head, and they're like, "I hate you so much." That was great. So they did just of course, if you don't know, Epic bought the Harmonix studio or whatever that made Guitar Hero. They've moved that into Fortnite now. It's an entire new module, and they just came out with a new guitar for that.
I was gonna say, wasn't the downfall the purchases for like any new song you had to purchase the
Yeah.
freaking packs?
Yeah.
Well, now they're doing
the
it
latest
all
one
through
was like a
Fortnite.
subscription model. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's the same, probably same micro tees for the various songs. And I know my youngest likes to play it, but I'm like, you can't play it until you play it on a guitar. And I have the old guitar, but like the adapter to make it work is like $300. And I'm like, well, for
What?
that, I would
No
just go
way.
buy the, no, it's for real. Go look it up. The adapter
What
for
is
the
it?
original Guitar Hero, for the original Guitar Hero guitar to make it work on a newer system. It's, I don't know if they just didn't make that many of them. It's like a crazy.
Should I bring my PS2 and 2 Guitar Hero guitars to the in-person?
Oh, dude. Come early.
I'll do
Do you
it.
have Rock
Let's jam
Band?
out
I like
Thursday
Rock
night.
Band better because the drums.
I have that drums.
Yeah, I'm gonna
down
haul the
here.
drums and everything down.
Yes.
Fanboy Tone says, this story is boring. Where's his blackberry beer? It's bottled up right on the other side of this wall next to me. So
I'm slightly insulted you didn't just think I had a PS2 here. I have two PS2s,
You have
but
two
they're not here.
PS2s? Do you
They're
have
actually
Guitar
at my
Hero?
friend's house.
Fanboy just threw
I
out
don't think
his
I'm out.
PS4
Well, it
Guitar
still
Hero
stands.
guitar last year. I loved it. I thought it was a great era for gaming. Like originally when it came out, I'm like, what a gimmicky thing. I'm surprised Nintendo didn't make this, right? Like, because they like the gimmicks. Until I played it and like I couldn't stop playing it.
It was the only game. It was the only game I was playing for a long time.
I looked for a long time for that Metallica one, and I could not find it anywhere. I was so
Yeah.
sad. And then I just kind of like just faded away from. I think it was Wii. It was the Wii version.
Yeah, it was good. And then they went too far. They did what they always do, and they flooded the freaking market with it because they're like, oh, this is selling. And then everybody's like, too much, guys, too much. And they walked away
Yep.
from it.
That's how it
So-
goes.
What I
'Cause,
thought
like-
was really funny was like they had all of these like characters that were modeled after real guitarists for
Yes.
the longest time, and then they were like, "Oh, we're gonna remove this skin because now we're doing the Metallica." Or like my favorite was Zakk Wylde from Black Label Society, and like once they did him, I was like, "Yes, awesome!" But they took away the generic guy that looked like him.
I had Rock Band, and like the thing is, when you have no one in your friend group that can actually sing, it gets pretty rough.
Yeah.
There's a few songs I could do well just because I could mimic the voice of the artist who sang it. But like it was like Black Hole Sun, right? All you gotta do is mumble like Black Hole Sun,
Yeah.
won't you come?
If you
Like-
actually like enunciate, you lose at that song.
Yeah, you gotta mumble it, and I was good at that one, but like you get anything more than that, and it was like, oh man, is there an animal dying somewhere?
I just want to
Um,
hear Mike sing "Lips of an Angel."
Jesus.
Fanboy says, I did often. STP, yeah, right. Some Stone Temple. Not only was it a fun game for its era and everything, but the song list was pretty fire. Like until they got stupid with like Through the Fire and Flames and that kind of stuff. Which that band's just a crappy band. It's just they did good guitar work. Like, give me those
Whoa,
classics.
you hating on Dragon Force?
Yes.
Rude.
Name a
They're-
song other than Through the Fire and the Flames. I rest
Through
my
the
case.
ice and the
Yeah,
wind.
right.
I've
Don't
watched
say
your stuff,
words
I
like that about Chris Cornell. yeah, dude.
You know,
we got a
I'll
bunch.
preface that is the age of Nirvana, okay, and they are terrible by nature. So if anyone critiques like Black Hole Sun and that it sounded like it was mumbling, I was like, let me point you to freaking Nirvana.
Right.
which was-
It was the era of the drugged out singing.
Nirvana
I'm
and
okay
the
with that.
whiny.
Oh my
Jeremy.
gosh!
Does anybody
Yeah.
remember Jeremy? I mean, come on now.
Yeah, I do.
I'm sorry, Marthlin. I know we're leaving you totally out of this conversation. All
Oh,
of
I
these
know
guys
these
were-
groups.
Like
No,
I liked
last time
a
I
lot of Nirvana's
criticized
lyrics.
Nirvana, I had James just jump all over. He's like, "What are you doing?"
I liked Nirvana's lyrics, but yeah, the singing was just
Yeah.
like, oh my goodness.
Tone
The
says
lyrics
Biddle
are
should just
great,
shut
but the
up.
presentation could use some work.
My
So wait, I'm gonna say something real controversial real quick.
oh
Foo
crap.
Fighters is better than Nirvana ever was.
Yeah,
I'm okay with
absolutely.
that.
Different eras.
Oh gosh, absolutely.
This must be the stream of awful opinions. Yeah, Waterworld sucks too. We're just gonna toss that one in there as well.
What day?
It's a
Waterworld's
good movie. That was a good movie.
Of the grunge music era, my favorite, hands down, no contest, was Alice in Chains. I
Okay,
was
yeah.
a huge Chains fan. I still love Chains.
You do
Right.
realize that grunge gave us emo, right? Like
I
without
know.
grunge,
I'm okay with that.
there would be no emo.
Waterworld is a classic. I love
What
these
about-
like 10-second catch-ups here.
What about some
But-
love for Pearl Jam?
Pearl Jam was
See,
hit or miss
I liked
for
Motley
me.
Crue over Pearl Jam.
Talk about an artist that you couldn't understand a single word they're saying in the songs.
That one song, I love that people just make fun of it all the time.
Yellow Ledbetter.
Yeah.
and
And the thing is, when you see them put words to it, you're like, it does sound like he's saying that.
I could buy it.
Happy Mario Day. Anyways, we've really descended down here. We need more banter and babble to cover this so we get this out of our systems.
Right.
So in that, that's what I thought, poser. What was the lead singer who died in Alice in Chains? Lean Staley? Yeah, I know who that is. Like, in the end, they had to prop him up. Like, they were putting stuff under his arm so he could actually, like, be on stage because he was so bad into drugs and stuff, which is unfortunate. Yeah, so make sure you tune in to the latest Banter and Babble episodes. You'll find them at there was just a new Let's Set the Tone where Tone talks about his trip to Disney and all the fun stuff there, and then has like a half an hour part at the end that's just talking about Waterworld. But
Yeah, Tone. Let's talk about how all the horror movies apparently this year is just going to be serial killers because there's a theme. I don't know why.
Yeah, because why did that not trigger? It is B&B. Why did it not trigger? It just didn't want to trigger for
I'm not
you?
even seeing Tone's responses in the
Oh!
chat, honestly.
No,
that's
no,
because
'cause
Tone's
he's in
responding on
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Those don't work in YouTube. I don't know how to get that to happen because the chat doesn't multi-stream over. So there's B&B. We should probably update that now because it's not every Wednesday anymore. So yeah, we need to talk about what we put in there. But yeah, check out the Let's Set. So, but yeah, like you just watched what, Hard Eyes, right?
I watched Hard Eyes. I watched Companion, and there was something else, but they're all serial killers.
Yeah, that's the thing. Somebody in this group here of players, I won't say their name, Mike, but they had me watch a Tubi original called Sand.
I told you, man. I told you. Bad horror movies.
Man, it's like a train wreck. Like you want
The
to
sand's eating me.
you want to turn it off, but you're like, no, this is going to get better. There's going to be a great plot here somewhere, or some semblance of a plot here. No.
Nope.
I need to watch. I have to take pics of toys. Drastin Joey says hi and is waving at you. Hello.
So I finally finished the Terrifier series this weekend.
And
2 is the best, in my opinion. 2 is the best.
it's tough for me because there's moments from each one that I'm a huge fan of.
Right.
Like and like I'm cognizant of what it is, like the budget that they made the first one on. Like I didn't go into that movie going, oh man, this movie sucked because it looks like crap. No, I knew they had like a $30,000 budget to make that.
Right.
And I thought they did great with what they had. The second one, I liked it. It went a little further into the metaphysical than I would have wanted it to.
Right. Which
And I
is
thought-
why I think it's better than 3.
And I thought 3 was a good balance of the first and second one.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I thought 3 went too far with the metaphysical, like, especially the ending. Like,
Well, yeah, they
Yeah.
definitely, there were some underlying messages there that they wanted to push through.
no.
But they were kind of hitting at some of it in the second one, but for sure.
Right.
But they're just fun movies.
Yeah. The first one was great, and they had me all the way up until the end. Spoiler alert for Art popping up in the at the end of the movie. I was like, really? Like, no explanation for this at all.
They said
Let's
the fourth
see.
one is the last one, and it's going to like explain everything.
Yeah.
So the actor that plays Art is also going to be playing Mickey Mouse in Steamboat.
Yes.
And the
And then there
Grinch
was-
in that
he
one.
wa- he was the
one.
Grinch. Yeah, he played the Grinch. And then what? We got Popeye coming up too, but I don't think he's in that one.
He's not in that one, but that one looks rough.
It couldn't be any worse than Winnie the Pooh.
The only one that's really got my attention that's coming out is the one that's called Unicorn or something with Paul Rudd in it.
Oh my God, yes.
Dude.
We killed a unicorn, and now there's a nightmare unicorn.
It looks like a train wreck. It's going to be amazing.
This is a movie?
Yes.
Jenna
Horror
Ortega
comedy, cool.
and Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Wow, that's such great casting.
But I love
there.
Paul Rudd.
Right.
So like,
did you ever watch the Paul Rudd series Living with Yourself?
I did not.
No.
You should check it out. It's really good. The hook is basically he gets a clone made of himself, and then they have to figure out what to do.
I did see that one. Yes.
Is that like
I
a
did
modern
see that one.
multiplicity or?
Well, there's
that?
only
To
one.
Steve.
There's only one clone. It's not multiple.
Oh.
You have not. If you haven't seen Multiplicity, you need to see that.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
Michael Keaton at his best.
Oh, it's Michael
like-
Keaton. All right.
I like Pizza Steve.
She touched my
Oh.
peppy.
She took my Peppy Steve.
I'll get that one going.
Yeah. Andy McDowell and Michael Keaton.
Why does the original version of him remind me of Biddle so much? Like the angry, bitter workaholic. Like
Wow. Wow, shots fired. He was just trying to finish up his emails. Leave him alone.
right.
Hey, y'all are talking about horror movies, and I stepped out of the horror movie market about the time of Hills Have Eyes and Event
Oh.
Horizon. I was like, you know what? Y'all can have your horror movies. I'm
Event
kind of done
Horizon.
with everybody. That was the strong. No, there was another one. Hostel. It was Hostel. It was about that time too. And I'm like, you know what? I can't.
So
do
you
this
stopped
anymore.
watching it the moment it was a gore fest.
Yes. I love thrillers. Thrillers are great. But when it started just dipping into like how many different body parts can I strewn across the screen at one time, I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of good. I like let's have some plot.
All right, we're kind of diving down a rabbit hole here, and it's a fun rabbit hole, but don't forget to check out Half-Ass Beer Review for your weekly beer reviews. He's got a few of them up here. Dude hit 1,000 followers on YouTube, which is amazing. So
Nice.
good job to him. And shout out to them. And then Truth Beer Podcaster, we've been associating with them. They're here in the Cincinnati area, a podcast that reviews video beer reviews. And they like to hit up the local breweries around here. Gore makes you horny, honey. Bleh. That's how. This Wednesday, we're going to be with you for our March Call the Wild hunt. We are going to be hunting lions because March roars in like a lion, but is going to crawl out into my trophy
They
room.
need to put
by the
leprechauns
end.
in there.
Man, that would be great. But so like when it comes to the modding community, I'm not sure they're stable mentally enough anymore, because I know Jeremy's been playing Monster Hunter and he said, "Oh, the mods are already out," and what he showed me was not okay.
It was terrifying.
It was not okay on so many levels. So mod people, take a chill pill. Just it's scary out there. But anyone got anything else? If you're in the Michigan area, we are going to be up at Koi's Comic for a weekend in the dungeon at Koi's Comic, coming up the first weekend in April 5th and 6th. 5th and 6th. Yeah, we're doing 2 days. Blah, blah, blah. Be sure to come on by and play some D&D. We're updating some stuff, so it's gonna be a good time. So, you guys got anything?
Nope.
Nope.
Let's do this.
All right, let's get into the dungeon.
Woo!
All right, let's get some music going on here. That's not what I'm looking for. There we go. Last week, the party escaped the Dragon's Cave of Azrock the Eternal and told him of their exploits in the cave as they recovered another book from the Shadowspark Chronicles. Quentin, having that book, returned himself to
Ran like a bitch.
Gandor's Keep and gave the book to Pora Shadowspark. She put the book away for later, and Quentin went about his business until he took the ship to go pick up everyone else in the forest. Picking them up, they returned to town, settled in. After a good night's sleep, they prepared to travel and arrived at the docks in town. As you arrive at the docks, you can see with the deckhand there, or the person who runs the docks there, standing was an emissary from the Queen waiting for your return. You see them as you approach. What would you like to do?
Queen is approaching.
No, just an emissary.
Oh, okay. It's like that'd be. I'll step out front, meet the emissary.
Okay.
We're on the ship.
No, you're on the
The
docks.
docks.
On the docks. That's what I thought. Okay. The water threw me off. I'm like, are we in a ship?
Close.
Yeah. What time is it? What time of day is it?
It's
Morning.
Morning? Great.
Yep.
Good morning. I see you're the emissary from the keep. Anaximander Starward.
Many blessings to you. I'm guessing you're the light unsparkers I've heard about.
It is so.
That is us. You can see this is our actual symbol now that we are going by. We each adorn it.
Ah, fine quality. I imagine you made that here in town.
Indeed, nothing but the best here.
Well, I was sent by the Queen to present you with this, and he holds out a scroll the wax seal on it and some twine tied around it. If you run into any trouble in Perrin's Folly, you can hand this to them as it's official from the Queen, as being representatives for us.
I can handle the papers.
I don't expect that you'll run into any issues there. They're a quiet town.
That is not what we have heard.
Well,
Have you heard from them recently?
no, they're quiet.
This is normal. You don't hear anything. From my understanding, there have been attempts to make communication with them, those emissaries that are sent have disappeared. Am I correct with this?
You're correct.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Ones that were sent there never returned, for that which you are correct. But we have heard from them. They sent letters that they now are residents of Perrin's Folly and prefer the quieter lifestyle that's there.
Can we guarantee the authorship of each one of those messages?
We didn't. We had no reason to doubt. Have you never traveled somewhere and you thought this would make a better home?
You'll forgive me for my impertinence, but we are concerned about the state of things in Perrin's Folly, so we may be jumping to conclusions that may either have or have not merit. So these questions are just helping us to try and determine how we approach the residents of Perrin's Folly.
I would say they've turned over a new leaf since the Great Conflagration a few months ago.
Understood. How was the communication relayed back to you and your division?
We received communication via paper bird.
Yeah. So
You don't find it odd that the fact that they were using a corrupted book and murdering elderly individuals is not a concern for people not returning.
Saris Moore was put under trial here and was found innocent and returned to his land.
I saw firsthand what he was doing.
Unfortunately, outside of your word and his word, we had no other proof.
Was the potion that is that not proof? We brought back a potion and everything that he used the book to make.
I was not aware of any potion. That might be above me, though. Sounds like work for the Academy.
The Academy knows all about that potion. They took it in, they took a sample of it, and then did some magic on it. I don't know. I know they researched it.
That's what they used to synthesize the cure for the plague. Marin's kiss.
So what
So
you're
there was
saying,
proof.
what you're saying is we should thank Saris Moore for contributing to the baseline cure for the plague that ripped through the countryside.
DM, do I believe this person is sincere in what they're saying, or do I think that they're just basically goading us?
he's a
Gaslighting.
politician. Politician.
Go ahead and roll an insight check.
16.
No, yeah, you feel like he's not trying to be misleading in any way. There's no hesitation in his voice. He's speaking from the knowledge that he knows.
Okay.
I think once you all spend some time there, you'll find that you yourself might want to stay.
I can assure you, we will not want to stay there.
Are they aware that we are coming for this book?
I'm not aware of any communication of notifying them that you're on your way.
Out of character, was NX Commander briefed on the situation in full as to what happened at Parents Folly, as to how they procured the girl?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Yeah,
I just want to make sure
conversation.
before I. Okay, I thought so. Just confirming. It's
neither
been a while.
Annex or Justinian knew the
Yeah.
details.
No.
We
Excuse
originally
me.
had just gone there because we heard that they were curing the sickness.
Emissary's name again?
He hasn't given it to you.
Oh, he's just emissary. Okay. You'll please forgive me again for my impertinence, but are you aware of the situation that occurred in Parents Folly at the time of the Great Conflagration?
From our records, a group of travelers might have caused an unfortunate fire in the forest and didn't work to contain it properly, causing the loss of a good portion of their lumber that they made their livelihood from.
Okay. That's
First
correct.
off.
What else? What other information?
Hold on. First off,
Hold up.
it was not a group of individuals, as the majority of the group was nowhere near the start of the fire.
I was near there, but I was dead. I got better.
Oh. Curious.
If we're going to tell stories,
Well, we can only go on what we've heard.
Well, is that all the information that you've heard?
I heard that those travelers were promptly removed from the village.
Okay. So some of the information, most of the information you have in that regard is correct. However, there is an underlying issue that is of grave concern, and that is the willingness to sacrifice people in order to cure others of the plague that was ripping its way across the land. Were you aware of that?
And you have proof of this.
I present to you my proof, and then I'll point to Gwynton, Bishop, and Marsland.
I think only Bishop and I are the ones who actually saw it happen.
That's right. Yeah, because Marsland was dead.
Yep. Well,
No, he was alive. He
I
was
was
alive.
alive back at that point, but
Okay. Yeah.
We're the only two
I
that
was just
went
not
to the
there.
church.
yeah, because it was Oz, Bishop, and
Yeah.
Gwen.
Take it, Oz. We can use your help.
And your proof?
We saw him stab somebody, and then
Are
brought
you
him here.
sure that's what you saw?
I'm 100% positive that someone got stabbed. A knife went into somebody else.
So your proof is your word.
You
He
want to
is
cast?
a man of the deities.
I have no reason to lie about this. I stopped the next one.
As is Sarismore himself. And different deities worship in their own way, and who are we to judge?
Excuse me, I am one to judge. Hello, paladin of Tyr. And I, if
This is
someone
me.
if someone's committing human sacrifice for no regardless of the benefit, I have a problem with that. As does Tyr, who I have been following diligently since then longer than you have been alive. So the act of human sacrifice should raise some flags. And it's my understanding that you had one of the persons of interest here at Candor's Keep, and he was released back to Parents' Folly. So now were you a part of this decision-making process?
I was.
Okay. This is starting to make a lot more sense now, everybody. How are we going to? Will you be joining us on our trip to Parents' Folly?
I will not. Hence the letter from the Queen.
Wonderful. Okay. Do you foresee us wanting to take up residence in Parents' Folly permanently after our visit there?
You might.
I will
That
not.
would be a no.
I will not.
Do you see that? Do you see that as a strong possibility?
It's as good a chance as any other.
Understood. Well, thank you.
But this issue, you say sacrifice, were the victims, in your words, willing or unwilling?
I don't think that really has any credence in this regard.
With our understanding of these corrupted books, I am not sure that they were in their right minds.
Seems like a
these
lot
are
of
all
gray area.
This is all information that could have been brought up as us being witnesses to a trial that we did not know took place. We were the ones that did a civic arrest and brought him here.
Then count yourself lucky. Finding him innocent means you might have acted under ill intentions.
Obviously, this gentleman is blind to the information we are giving him. I suggest we move on.
Well, thank you for the letter.
He nods. Be sure to get all the facts when you're researching something.
I am so glad the Queen has asked us for our opinion on who should stay in court and not. And I walk towards the boat.
Snappy, isn't he?
Fuck you, guy.
All right. Well, thank you. What, by chance, is your vested interest in Parents' Folly?
I have no vested interest. I am simply here to deliver a message from the Queen, and we have participated in this much appreciated conversation.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Did somebody grab the letter?
Yes, Marklin has it.
Wilson did.
Okay. Just want to make sure. All right. Thank you, Ambassador,
Emissary,
Emissary.
you'll be embarking on the Lady of the Seas. It's right over there.
We're not taking our own ship.
No.
No.
No, they specifically told us not to take the Brindle Star because it could be a sign of aggression.
It's an
Oh,
act of
okay.
war.
It does have
But now
ballista
I
on
may
the
be
top of
changing
it.
my mind.
You know.
What are you talking about? We can hide those ballistas.
It definitely won't be seen as an act of aggression when, Bishop steps out onto the plank to land the dock.
Bring
We've
me
come
Cirrus more now.
We've come for the book.
And your head.
All right. And I'll nod at the emissary and then start working towards the lady of the
Lady of
Whatever.
the Seas.
Seas.
He bows to you, and to all of you with a big sweeping hand motion. No, I mean, even from your passive perceptions, there's no sign of aggression on his face, and much like Justin, you just saw, he's not trying to deceive anyone. He's purely operating on basic knowledge that he has about the situation.
All
It
right.
has been such a long time. I honestly don't remember what we told anybody anything. So
I don't want to jump to a conclusion that what has been brought to on Naxamander's attention. So that's why I asked the question beforehand.
Yeah.
So
the Lady of the Sea was like the high-end ship, right?
Nope.
Bishop, you know when you're talking to people and you get so pissed off that you just punch them in the middle of their sentence?
Mm.
I now understand why you do that.
Sometimes conversation is going nowhere. So it needs to be ended abruptly.
are we far enough? Are we out of earshot
Yes.
of the
Yes.
emissary? Okay.
We're talking shit right next to him still.
Yeah.
Bishop does not care.
Yeah.
No, Bishop said that he walked off, so I just followed him.
Yeah.
Nope, this
Yeah.
person.
So, guys, this is a politician, and you're not. They have an interest in their own agenda, and a lot of the times we're not privy to that. So it was very clear that he was not going to be swayed from what he was expressing. So it was easiest just to carry on. He has no clout really, at least that I could detect. Just a moving.
Unfortunately, with what we witnessed during Aura's trial, this kingdom is in dire need of restructuring.
This town needs an enema.
I know, that's what I was thinking.
Next time, Bishop's just going to smear blood like a smile on his face.
Maybe we should just rule all of the sections of town.
I feel like she slightly offered that to us.
Campaign over.
We take over Kandor's Keep and rule from the academy.
Okay.
It's okay. I have no
Don't
problems with
threaten
that.
me with a good time.
All right, so you board the Lady of the Seas, and as you walk up, you see a human woman with deep red hair. She's got her familiar black leather outfit on with a long coat, and she's just got flashing a smile as you enter on the ship. Well, if it isn't the well-to-dos. Been a long time, and some new faces. You see Jaina Trexley approaching you as you board the ship.
We aren't called the well-to-dos. We're called the light and sparkers, actually.
So you're the ones I have heard of in the taverns.
Word of us has spread. That's very exciting. I'm glad the name is really starting to take hold.
Yes, there are some interesting stories, for sure.
Hopefully all good.
I doubt that.
Things happen. Maybe on the voyage we could talk about what happened down in Smyrna?
Which thing? I think we need to be specific there.
Exactly.
Oh, I see now.
Well, welcome aboard. We'll be taking you to the beautiful city of Perrin's Folly, most recently stripped of its lumber. I'm not sure if you might know who did that. And she just flashes a grin. Sounds more like the light sparkers to me.
I like to think that everybody can change, including us.
I would
Again.
also like to point out that that was one member of a group previous to the Light Unsparkers.
That
Yes,
member's
but-
no longer with us.
When you stub a toe, the entire foot suffers, right?
The member in question has been brought to justice.
Well, I'm sure they won't mind at all. Drop the sails. Let's head out. The sails unfurl and you feel the ship lurch forward as you head out to sea, and they pull the anchor up. Being back here, you've gotten so used to the Brindle Star and its smooth flight that I would say you're more aware of how much the boat rocks back and forth as you cut through the water and proceed toward Perrin's Folly. Well, make yourself comfortable. Should be 3 days to Perrin's Folly. It's good to see you all again.
I hope this journey is less perilous, but you never know.
It is interesting setting sail on the Watcher again. I have to get my sea legs back.
Yes, if you're ever looking for a captain of that contraption of yours, I wouldn't mind my own air legs, if you know what I mean.
From what the others have said and what I've heard myself, I don't think that ship, unfortunately, takes kindly to others captaining her.
And she just looks at you strangely. Okay.
It's
Well-
definitely something worth considering, especially because Marsland, you were not available to fly the ship all the time. I'm sure that maybe over time the ship may be accepting of another captain.
I can consider that.
It seems like you have a good gig here.
I do, but who doesn't yearn for the stars? Take a ship away from the earth and glide through the skies. Don't you ever wonder what's out there? What drifts in the astral sea?
No, I have a pretty good idea of at least one thing that drifts in the astral sea.
I know whole bags of worth of items that drift through the astral sea.
That'd be a very lucky adventurer.
There's a lot of copper.
One statue, the weight of a man.
It's exciting to think about, to take it and see the city of Brawl drifting through the astral sea.
I understand the allure of Brawl and the Astral Sea coming from that mining community. It's not really all it's real chopped up to be.
You've been to Brawl?
I was raised there.
Oh, this is fascinating. I must know more.
I said it was a mining community. I mean, we can certainly chat about that. We've got a couple days, correct?
Yes, 3 days.
Yeah. So tell me what do you know about Brawl so far?
Not much, just that it drifts through the seas. It's been established for quite some time. What kind of creatures inhabit its streets? What are the taverns like?
Taverns. Well, I didn't frequent too many taverns, but I'm sure they're just like any other tavern, just with different inhabitants. Yeah, so creatures? I mean, what kind of creatures are you expecting to see? You know, you have different creatures here in Candor's Keep. I mean, Candor's Keep is kind of a nice little hub of diversity.
Did you see any pirate gith there?
Well, twitch a little bit. I've met the pirate kid. They usually don't hang. They frequent other asteroids in the field. They're not very friendly.
Not very friendly. I thought they loved their home there.
Oh, they love their home. They just don't want anybody else there.
What about Kinku or maybe Kendor? Gif? Haruzi? Thrikreen? Anything?
Most of the sentient inhabitants of the astral sea will, in one way or another, find their way to Brawl at some point. It's kind of a trading center.
Now, have you ever mentioned this to anyone else?
No.
Okay, so all the rest of you, this is the first you're ever hearing of this.
I'm taking notes, staring at him.
So, yep, but I'm like I said, it's just a big mining community. I guess the allure is that it's, when you're land bound here, or I guess plane bound here, and going to a different plane, definitely has its allure. But I've seen a variety of planes in my time, but Brawl was just one of many. I'm a little partial because I was born and raised there. That was when I had I had an occasion to meet with the powers that be in the Enclave of Tyr.
We must talk while you're here.
Of course. Have I ever told you about what happens to lawbreakers in Tyr? You have mentioned pirates, but do you know what happens?
No.
They're fed to the Illithid.
Well, that seems counterproductive.
Not really. For them, in their society, if someone breaks the law and it's that severe of an offense, they make them a
snack.
Well, yes, but a slave, really.
Surely there's a trial before that happens, no?
Oh, there are laws that need to be followed, and there are executors of that law, and don't break the law. I'm not saying that I have to agree, with the punishment, but I do say that there is a law and it's meant to be followed.
What does their law say about arson?
Asking for a friend.
Yeah, Marsland, I'm fairly certain that destruction of personal property is a universal offense to individuals.
Does that get you fed to the Illithid?
I am no lawyer of Brawl law, but that would have to be something that's adjudicated there. Are you planning on committing arson in Brawl?
Oh, by no means do I ever intend to perform arson.
Yeah.
But it is just good to know.
Might I recommend not breaking the law?
I take that into every single moment of every day.
Do we, though?
Well, it said Brawl is no fun excursion. I mean, you are aware What's the captain's name again?
Jaina
Jaina.
Trexley.
Jaina. You are aware, Jaina, that that brawl is where a lot of thieves and rogues go to hang out and hide, correct?
Oh,
Lots
I
of
know.
unsavory characters.
Those are
I
my
would
kind
think
of people.
that is very counterproductive, knowing that they could be fed to a giant creature.
True. Step lightly.
I personally have not had any interest in the astral sea.
Bishop, I'm afraid that we might be seeing it before long.
Well, as always, if you need anything, I'll be around. Anaximander, was it?
Maximander, Starward.
I'll be looking for you. We should continue to talk.
Absolutely.
The rest of you, enjoy your travels. And she goes about telling some people what to do. All right, for your first day of travel, anything you would like to do?
Is there anything else you have yet to disclose to us, Anaximander, about your past?
Marson, I have been around a very long time. I mean, there are books that could be written about what I have done.
Well, where should we start? I think I should have a good amount of paper to get us through at least this trip. You can dictate, and I'll take down the notes.
That is fair. We could.
He also sleeps quite a bit.
There. Was that a pen clicking?
Was my knuckles cracking?
I thought that was a pen clicking. I was like, oh.
Getting ready.
I'm looking up Jaina, by the way, in the notes. So I make sure to find out what's in there and what we've done so far.
AFK for a second.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Marsland, I mean, one battlefield is very similar to another. If I'm not sure if you realize, but you typically have the aggressor and the defender, and it's just a change in scenery after that. Some and tactics.
Indeed. I find history tends to not be quite so black and white from my studies, but I guess I could see your point that once fighting is underway, it is fighting.
When you're on the front lines, it's black and white.
Well, it's more red, I would imagine.
Yes, a lot
But-
of red.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. But I mean, war after war. A lot of times, I don't even know what why I'm being tasked with going there. I just know that it is Tyr's will, and then I will follow. My
Did
trust in Tyr guides me to, or leads me to that faith that what I'm doing is just.
Did you ever have doubts on the battlefield?
Everybody has doubts, Marsland. Especially when you're seeing someone at the end of your mace.
I can imagine. Looking into their eyes, realizing that they have a family.
You try not to think about that.
I can imagine it would make it hard to do the task at hand.
Yes. Yes, it would. War is hell. And war in hell is even more hell.
That compounds. That sounds
Yes.
horrifying.
A lot of hell.
Hell squared.
Yes. Inception levels of hell.
Let's go deeper.
But fortunately, a lot of what I've been tasked with doing is fighting evil. Shadow, Fel. These are creatures, demons. These are those where you don't have to worry too much about what their family structure is, because they don't have a familial system like as what we are familiar with.
What we saw in Yargish, it being taken over, does that even compare to some of the things that you have seen?
It was fairly mild. I mean, it's brutal. I mean, you saw that when the aggressor comes into town or comes into a siege city like that. They don't take kindly. When you think, Marsland, you have the defenders who have their entire livelihood at stakes, their family, friends, and they'll defend with every ounce of their being. And the aggressors, in order to overcome that, are brutal. And we saw that firsthand. There was no prisoners.
That is quite sorrowing to think that Yargish is you would consider mild. But I
When
guess
gods are in play, that's not pretty. It just gets worse. That was just a man who got akin to too much power and released it.
that sounds like someone that we might be concerned about. Good old Fane. Suppose it behooves us to make sure that the gods that are on our side, the side of good, have full contact with the people of this land.
Yeah. Well, Marsland, gods don't go quiet due to, over-ambitious people. There are some forces in play right now that go far beyond our understanding, and I think far beyond Fane. Fane is just a drop in the pond for what we're dealing with right now. He might be an integral portion of this, but to be able to silence the gods as have happened, I am very concerned. One does not simply end tier.
And you don't know how that happened.
No, unfortunately, I was asleep.
I wish I could help answer the question.
I wish I had an answer a question.
Have you tried consulting with the Academy at all? Have you revealed any of these details?
I'm becoming a little bit more open about my past and about what has happened, but there's a time to sit back and speculate and ponder, and then there's a time for action. I'm more prone to the latter rather than the former.
Does a good commander not need to study its enemies before it attacks, though?
A good commander has people who studies and helps delegate.
But they still must intake this knowledge.
Absolutely. But a good commander isn't all knowing. A good commander has people under him.
Indeed.
That he
and
trusts.
recognizes what it does not know.
Yes. So, I guess to answer your question, is it not better off that I have people like you, Marsland, to reach out to the academy and dig deeper into what may be happening.
With your permission, I would be glad to talk to Pora and see if... I'm sure she would be curious at the very least.
She's aware.
I don't remember if we've brought that up.
If it wasn't
You did it
done
by
openly,
himself. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It was you
Yeah.
and her.
yeah, she's aware, Marsland.
Mm-hmm.
To the extent of which she hasn't disclosed to me, but she is aware of my position amongst Tyr's ranks.
Do you think it could be, I hate to call it as simple, but as simple as finding an avatar of Tyr to return as we did with the others?
Maybe.
Could you be an avatar?
There are certain criteria that need to be in place for something of that, especially of so noble a position as to be an avatar for someone like Tyr. If I am one day worthy of that position, then I would take up the mantle, but I am a servant. I'm a servant commander. I serve Tyr, and I command those under me.
Well, currently it seems you serve the ghost of Tyr, but I guess that is semantics.
I would not have the power that I have if Tyr was gone permanently. That is just a small facet. That is as you would say, Marsland, that is empirical evidence. I know because I have the power that I know that he is still available.
Does your
guess you'd
strength
say.
continue to decline?
Yes. But
Curious.
that has, I think, personally, that has tapered now that I am awake.
Were you not awake before?
When I was asleep?
Like last night?
No. Marsland. It was a slow decline from when I went to sleep. And then when I woke up, it was tangible. How much the power that was within me has declined. And I feel it restoring, but slowly.
I was under the impression it was continuing to decline. That is good to hear that it might be coming back.
These gray hairs are still popping in, Marsland. And these bones are feeling worse and worse for wear every morning.
I don't think I can do much for you on that front. Perhaps Gwynton can.
Marsland, I have lived a very, very long time. So, whatever his will is, I will continue to exercise it until I am no more.
Wish you all of the power that Tyr may grant you to continue to carry out that mission.
Well, fight till your last breath, Marsland. That's all I can say. Fight. Use that brain of yours and fight.
I don't wish to take my brain out in combat, but
You know, Marsland, you're becoming very predictable. I should really watch my words with you, but I appreciate you. I walked right into that brain comment, didn't I?
Can I equip that as an item?
You can certainly try.
who else is there? Is Bishop and
As far as I know,
Whitney and everybody?
everybody's still
They're
there.
just
Everyone's still
standing there
there, yeah.
watching us talk.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Were you saying something?
Welcome back, Bishop.
Yeah. Bishop just tuned us all out. Quentin, your thoughts?
I mean, there's really not much I have opinion on based on your backstory.
Well,
I was just here
not so
listening
much
to
of my
you.
not so much of my backstory, but more
Deities disappearing.
deities disappearing, being restored. How do you feel once the avatar was restored?
I mean, I felt better than I have in a while once we were able to get True Silver's avatar restored. But I know that there is somebody out there who's trying to stop the gods from being there.
You speak with True Silver often.
Not as often as I probably should.
Might want to keep close contact and make sure that that connection remains strong.
Well, I'm sure I would know if it wasn't, considering there's a shining light in the middle of the city. Underground, of course, but
No. I mean, you have to go searching for that, no?
well, something tells me that if she were to stop being the Avatar, I would know pretty quickly. Just consider the wisdom of True Silver.
Hopefully, what happened in Smyrna, the opposite wouldn't happen in Kandor's Keep. Would that seat be to disappear?
Well, considering that she didn't always occupy the seat and it didn't rise into the space when she sat in it, I don't think that's comparing apples and apples right now.
Do you consider yourself an expert on avatars and the gods?
Not at all.
I rest my case.
Okay. Anyone else want to have a conversation for the first day of travel?
Nope.
All
We're
right.
just gonna drop it all the first day, and the next one we're just gonna be sitting around twiddling our thumbs.
Do.
Maybe.
Is there
All
a
right.
crow's nest of any sort?
Sure. Yeah.
I'd like to spend some time up there with
Okay.
a eyeglass. If I'm assuming there's got to be one.
There's probably a guy up there, so use theirs.
I'm gonna
We had
cozy
bunk
up with
with
him.
It'll be the big spoon up in the crow's nest.
buddy.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Taking
He's
it
just
all
going to
in.
move to the front of the ship and just keep watch.
Hear yourself rust.
Hmm.
All right. Night falls. Anyone want to do anything at night?
Nope. Other than go to sleep.
Okay. Equip magic missile. Anything?
Mm-mm.
I don't think Marsland's gonna be cool enough for that spell this time.
Magic missile? What's that?
I cast magic missile at 9th level.
Just a fireworks show at that point.
It always hits.
Oh, yeah, I don't got anything.
Okay. Good deal. All right. The night goes by, pleasant. Next morning comes. It's cold outside. I mean, you are traveling in the during the colder months. Anything for today?
I'm gonna try to find a minute alone with Marsland.
Okay.
Ooh.
Bishop will ask the sailors if they know anything about those islands that we're looking at.
Oh, okay. So just anyway, you're looking for Marsland. Yeah. So Bishop, they tell you it's more rumor that people have been down there. Um, one of the guys mentions that he had a friend that went down there once and never came back. The
Like, it's
islands.
just rough seas, or is it the actual islands that are a mystery?
So not only are the coast of the islands extremely rough and jagged, there's not like beaches to land on. The seas are rougher there. Um, there's a lot of shipwrecks around the outskirts. So when the waters get low, you can ground out on them. Um, the place is considered to be cursed and pretty much forbidden.
Okay.
And they just mentioned more. You could tell they had an attitude of like, why would you go down there? There's nothing down there. Like, just let the place rot and die.
Okay. I will assimilate that information out to the rest of the group throughout the day.
Okay. Justinian, you find Marsland.
Marsland, do you have a moment?
Looks around. Yeah, I think I can spare a couple minutes.
I think at some point I'm going to need to leave the group.
What? This is very surprising. Why are you confiding this in just me?
Because there's a chance that maybe if I confide this in you, you can help me figure out what the next steps of my life are going to look like. And I'll like reach out my hand, and you've seen me cast Thorn Whip before where I like reach out with just a single vine and grab a hold of somebody. But this time the vine grows and it turns into a scimitar. And I go, my powers are constantly evolving. And I'm constantly growing pointier features and a deeper green hue, and my antlers are growing bigger. How much longer am I even going to be able to consider myself part of humanity?
Do you know why this is? Do I know why this is happening? Do you know why this is happening to you?
Well, yes, I understand that I'm Ferondis' champion, and that this is part of growing in his power as I serve him. But, I mean, I've seen the way humanity treats itself. And it doesn't matter whether you're a dwarf or a human or a Vidalcan. The only consistency I've seen were in Bishop's Brethren, and they were controlled by somebody else. I worry that if I'm not turning into a monster, that the rest of the world will turn me into a monster.
I don't think you have much to worry as long as we are around, Justinian. As long as you don't feel like your mind is changing or degrading at all as these transformations take place, do you?
No, but I'm starting to enjoy the power.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
I'm enjoying being in battle. I'm enjoying putting a hurt on the creatures that we fight.
Do you find that
I'm enjoying being able to cast spells that feel more and more powerful as we go along.
it's important to, as you get to this power, understand the correct circumstance and condition under which you should use that power. Do you find your decision making is being foggied up?
Not at all. If anything, it makes me feel more clear. When we were at Azarok's cave and staying with the tabaxis amongst the trees, I feel better out in the natural world than I feel in Kandor's Keep. And I don't imagine going home to Smyrna would make me feel any better.
You don't think being back with your parents would do you any good?
No, because they just... everything I feel is so connected to the natural world now that even being on this ship, just not being able to be around plants or animals feels wrong. I feel like I belong to the land now, not to the people.
Do you have to belong to either one exclusively?
Not that I know of. I just know how I'm starting to feel about things. You know, when I first met the group, I meditated in my room. And now I go out to our greenhouse and meditate out there. Because it feels right. It feels more me.
Interesting. Well, I have to say, this is something that I'm not terribly familiar with, so I don't know exactly how I can help.
Well, maybe if you could, when we get back to the academy, research what happens to people like me once they fulfill their oaths, once they fulfill their pacts with their patrons. Maybe we'll have a better idea of what direction I should go in.
Not that you would wish to do this, but do you understand what would happen if you were to break this pact? Would it simply stop the transformation, or would greater evil happen?
I have no idea. But I don't want to break the pact. I want to fulfill my oath. It grows stronger in me with each passing day. Even without the power, but the power is just... it's so different. My mother had a magic to her, but it required study and concentration. This feels like I just get it for a job well done, you know? The more I fight for Ferondis and for Sylvanas, the more I'm given.
I do urge that as you get more power, that you consider whether or not you are using it just because of the necessity of it to get the task at hand done, or if you're doing something just for the sake of using power. If it is the latter, I ask that you mention that, because that may become a problem.
All right. If I feel that way, I will let you know.
But I would be happy to research at the academy. See what I can find. Could maybe even ask Lomar if you are comfortable with him helping research.
That's fine. Thank you for your time, Marslin, and thank you for being somebody that I can trust with this.
Of course. I like to think that I can be unbiased with complicated topics. Have you considered making the greenhouse at the house even more suited to what your new desires are.
No,
Make it feel more nature.
I haven't really thought about it.
Wonder if we could get a bit of a zoo going on there. Could even act as an attraction for the city.
Just what we need. More people stepping into our home.
Light and Sparkers, I think, want to be a positive presence in the city.
Oh, I agree with that. Like I said, the idea of the city itself just makes my skin crawl sometimes.
I hope you're able to find comfort.
I will tell you that helping destroy 8th and Shadowspark was a big highlight since I joined the group. Watching his evil finally get punished and laid to rest,
Happy
and
to
knowing
hear
that
that.
I had some small part in it
Well,
was a big
that
comfort.
power and that channeling of your focus will certainly become useful in the future tasks that we have coming towards us, whether it be Fane or wherever those portals take us to the other planes when we eventually do decide to step a foot through them. That clarity of mind you spoke of, I'm sure, will be of utmost importance.
And I'm just gonna reach out and uncharacteristically reach my arms around Marsland and pull him in for a hug.
What do I do? What's happening?
And then realize what I'm doing and uncomfortably walk away after I let him go.
We don't have to talk about that.
And then you're just going to leave.
You left?
Yeah, as soon as I realize that I'm showing some sort of connection to somebody in the group, I'm like, nope. I'll walk away.
I cast prestidigitation on myself.
Get yourself all cleaned up.
So you don't smell like flowers anymore.
All right. Anyone else have anything they want to do today? Quentin and Annex?
Not really.
Annex? Okay.
No, good.
How about this evening?
Just
All right.
bed for me.
The next day? Still heading in? Anything?
Bishop's
Nope.
just hanging out on the prow.
Yep.
Like always, just king of the world.
I just pictured the ship down in the water because he's on the front of it.
This is a pretty big ship.
I know. I just.
Wait, he was on the prow the entire night?
Other than when I was talking to the sailors, I've been up there the rest of the time.
Okay, so I won't just go to bed. I'm gonna go up to the front,
Oh,
walk
okay.
up to Bishop, cast light on him, and then walk away.
Okay.
Bishop, a beacon to all.
You see pirate ships heading toward you. Put the light out. Put the light out. All right. So, okay, that's canon. You can hear as you lay down just like the world's most mechanical sigh. I just have this headcanon image of Marsland just being like, "Night, buddy, tap tap."
Not the first time Bishop has been turned into a light either.
It's true.
No.
No, it has not.
He looks like Mabel from Gravity Falls when she's got all the rhinestones on.
He's kind of light bulb shaped.
He is. All right. Third day. Anything y'all want to do?
We there yet?
Oh God, there's always one.
What do you all do to pass the time when you don't have a library?
Don't you have a book with you?
I pull up my book and hold it up.
Would you like to trade books? I've read mine through 5 times already.
Mine comes with a pact, Marzelin.
Have you tried writing a book on your past escapades for documentation purposes at the academy?
I write that down every day. That I have. Would you like to? When we get back to the house, Anax, I can show you the entire back catalog. 3 of the bookshelves in my room are dedicated to my daily notes.
Noted. Next time we need kindling.
No.
Would you like to read my journals?
Anax, I am still waiting for you to dictate your life stories to me. So whenever you want to start that.
Yeah, we can take that up from time to time.
Anaximander, would you like to read a short story I wrote about an awkward wizard who falls in love with the leader of an academy?
What wizard might that be?
I said
This sound-
it's a short story. It's fiction.
This sounds like a biography.
What's the name of the wizard?
Barzalin.
Oh, phew. It's not about me.
All right. Anything else for this day?
Nope.
Night?
We'll go out and stand out there by our what do you call that thing at the front of the ship? Not the prow, but that little decorative piece they put on the front of the ship. Whatever that is. Well,
Okay.
disregard. I don't know ship talk. I'm gonna go out there to Bishop.
Okay.
It's called the figurehead.
Okay, got it.
Or
Figurehead.
forepeak or beak? I don't know. Unclear from this picture.
The Bishop.
Or
Yes.
bowsprit.
Annex.
How you holding out, bud?
Not that I have a lot of emotion, but I am not looking forward to this visit. Something does not bode well.
No, it doesn't. But I disagree with you on your lack of emotion. I think you are ripe with emotion.
I'm not sure if it's emotion or original programming. I am finding it harder and harder not to be in battle mode all the time. The aggression is always there.
Well, Bishop, welcome to being alive. When you've been doing one action for a long period of time, very long, like you have, it's tough to break from that mode, especially upon revelation of new information. Or in your case, breaking free of the control that you were under.
Spending many years underground, alone, then spending many more years in a simple life of farming and blacksmithing. No real threats of aggression towards the town. It seems that I have, in the short time span of making it to Candor's Keep, thrust myself back into a situation where old habits, while forgotten, are coming back to the surface.
Well,
I think the only reason that I am different than what we have fought is whatever special something that Gaz put in me.
well, Bishop, I believe what you're expressing there is quite natural. Though I can't speak to the intricacies of Gaz, being a fellow recipient of his great work, um, I, I, I see that this is not so much of you being forced into it again. You, my friend, have a gift. It is the gift to defend others and to fight for a worthy cause. Now, that is the difference in past bishop compared to present bishop, is that your idea of a worthy cause has changed through sentience.
True. But it does not truly feel like I have put the past in the past. In some of our situations, I have had to fight the urge that some people should not be alive.
I understand. What caused you to come to that conclusion?
Out of the entire group, you are the only one that has been alive long enough to realize that not everybody maybe should be saved.
I would agree totally. There are those out there that need to face justice for their actions.
What I am finding difficult is in my justification for serving justice the way it should be in this day and age, and dishing out my own justice. And I feel that this definitely will be put to a test once we hit Parents' Folly.
Would you like to stay on the ship?
I have not decided yet.
It may be a good trial for you to be able to endure people that disagree with you.
I am not sure it is the disagreeing with me that is the difficult position.
I don't mean to oversimplify that, but yes.
We, or some of us, have seen what has gone on here. And though something terrible happened due to us being here, they were also doing terrible things, whether they were agreeable to it or not. We have seen the corruption of these books. The forest alone is proof of that. That was just vines and roots that had attached itself to a book. They were openly using the spells in this book. And I find it rather odd that the emissaries that came here just changed their minds.
There is something afoot at Parents' Folly. I don't know if we're going to be able to get to the depths of their hearts in order to determine if it is depravity or ignorance. However, we should be diligent to listen, but be willing to take action in a judicious way. Keep in mind that we are here as representatives of the Queen of Kandor's Keep.
And that is a conundrum. I am constantly thinking about that, and if things take a sour turn. One way or another, we are not leaving here without that book.
The Queen trusts us. And she trusts our judgment. So again, let's be sure that whatever action we take is justified.
I am just saying, it is definitely going to be a trial. My old self would have had no problem walking through this town, killing every single inhabitant.
You are not that person anymore.
I just go silent. You see the my hands are on the railing, and they just tighten a little bit, enough that the wood starts to creak.
Strain. Yeah.
Put my hand on his shoulder. I believe in you, Bishop. And I'll turn and walk away.
All right. Night passes. Bishop, as you awaken and see, you can see land as the ship nears the city of Perrin's Folly. And that is where we're going to continue going tonight.
You son of a
What?
gun.
So early.
Like,
What the crap? It's only 8.
Got him. As the ship pulls into the dock at Perrin's Folly, Annax and Justinian, you see that once this was a booming logging town, the settlement now bears the scars of ruin. Charred tree stumps stood like gravestone beyond the town's edge, remnants of the inferno that had devoured half the forest. The air still carried a faint scent of ash, mixing with the briny sea breeze. The docks, once bustling with timber shipments, now sagged under neglect, manned by only a handful of workers with hollow eyes and soot-stained hands. As the ship settles in, the dock workers wearily look at those departing the ship. You see on the dock a grizzled human man signaling someone on the dock, and they run. He whispers something to them, and they run towards town. Are you all leaving the ship?
Been a few months. The place, the dock already has just collapsed into disrepair.
Yeah.
I'm sure the burning embers didn't help.
Also,
There
wasn't there
was-
some forest left?
Yeah, it said half the forest.
They can still lumber that.
You lazy bums! You have a job.
I don't have any sympathy for them anymore.
Walk 5 miles more to get the wood. It's fine. Deal with it.
Deal with it. It's your
I do that for
livelihood.
Fun.
Are you all exiting the ship?
We'll exit the ship, but I'll caution the party to hold and wait for a emissary or guide from the leadership here at Parents Folly. They have been warned.
The grizzled human man approaches all of you. Well, if it isn't the Kandorian fire starters.
We're the light unsparkers.
Oh, I know who you are. And he reaches back in his pocket and pulls out a little page, and he unravels it. And there you see some rudimentary art of, you can definitely make out Bishop, and there's a cat-like person on there, and an elf, and a blue Vidalkin, and a dwarf. Not permitted within the city of Parents Folly. Walk back up on the ship. Get out.
We are here as emissaries from Kandor's Keep.
One second. We have some papers, actually. I'll pull them out. From the Queen.
Sure they are. You
Check
do
the
realize
seal.
that you destroyed the livelihood of everyone in this town, and that drastic measures had to be taken.
You'll notice that there's one person from your drawing there in particular that is not standing with us today.
Yeah, but I see others who are.
The one that is regretfully responsible for the great despair is no longer with us.
He snatches the paper from your hands. He starts looking at it. We'll see when they get down here. But for now, stand right here on the docks. What business do you have here?
We have come in search of a book.
You don't have libraries in Kandor's Keep?
A very particular one that we think might be located here that we need. We have been in search for a good bit.
As you're saying that, you see 8 residents dressed in varying sets of armor, wielding weapons, moving swiftly down to the docks towards all of you. As they approach, one of them speaks up. Under penalty of death, those members of the Kandorian Firestarters must leave immediately by decree of Archpriest Saris Moore. Back on your ship.
By declaration of the Queen, we are permitted to be here. And I believe the Queen outranks your bishop.
The grizzled
Not our
man.
bishop.
So I said
Grizzled
your
man.
bishop.
He turns around and they brought papers. The man snatches the papers and looks
Please
over
be
them.
careful with that paper. You're handling it so roughly.
He looks up at you. Shut up. And then back at the paper.
Okay.
After you see him reading through the paper, I'm sure you won't mind that I need to have these verified that they're not forgeries based on past reported activities from this group. Is there a problem with that?
I can assure you that this is real, so as long as nothing above that is not above board happens, I have full confidence that you'll find this is a real document.
You all will be escorted to Fisherman's Tales. You should remember that place. One place you didn't burn down. You will not be permitted to leave until the authenticity of these documents can be verified. Is that a problem?
You will see no problem from us.
Do note that due to the incident, any unsanctioned magic has been outlawed here. Is that going to
Wait.
be a problem?
It won't be a problem. How do I get permission to use magic if need be?
Permission can only be granted by High Archpriest Saris Moore.
One other question. Would it be possible for one of our party to accompany during the document check, just to make sure a party from both sides is present during
Perhaps
this inspection?
A paladin of Tyr who was not part of the party when said occurrence happened.
That's an excellent
That's a
suggestion.
sign of good faith.
That will not be
Oh,
necessary.
I'll step forward. Anaximander Starward, Paladin of Tyr.
Congratulations. I'm a paladin of beer. Doesn't get me any further either.
Am I to understand that Anaximander and myself are going to be treated as criminals because we rode on the same ship as these three?
Yes. Are you saying you're not associated with these people?
It's wrong.
Of course
the
I
same
am.
symbol.
I just rode on the same ship as them.
We all have the same
Are you not
emblem.
wearing the same cloaks and bannerware?
I looked down and I was like, oh, well, apparently I am. Yeah, I'll stay here. Never mind.
Good point, right?
Yeah, great point. Shadowsparkers.
If you agree to these terms, follow me. We'll lead you to the Fisherman's Tales.
We do. Thank you.
The small regiment lead you up the hill to the city. Switch this out here.
May I ask a favor?
You all have a lot of questions and favors to ask.
Yes. May I at least use magic to make myself not look quite as scary for the children in your community? I find this appearance may frighten some people.
Our children have to stare at burn scars of city folks that were burnt during trying to put the fires out. Your situation isn't going to affect the children here.
Fair enough.
As they lead you into the city itself looks different from the last time you were here. The old wooden buildings have been replaced by stone, some still working in mid-construction. Antlers hang above the doors of every entrance, while bushes and plants have been planted along the base of a lot of the buildings. The area is bustling with activity, people moving about their business. As you pass by, you notice residents whispering to each other, pointing and some yelling slurs in your direction. You pass by one familiar shop, the Hammer Down, that has a sign that proudly displays "No Tabaxi Allowed." As you're walking, you hear a solid thunk can be heard from Bishop's direction as he is hit with a rotten vegetable that slides off his chassis, thrown from an unknown location. Other than those watching you, the town seems happy, moving about their business. There's some that are laughing and having a good time. It's different than the town you left so many months ago. As you arrive at the Fisherman's Tale, you can hear the laughter and celebration inside. Typical tavern sounds. The person escorting you, the Earth Ganassi, motions for the troop to stop. "I will return. Stay in place." He turns from you and walks inside Fisherman's Tales. He's gone a few minutes before returning. "Your arrangements for a stay have been taken care of. Anything else is on you. You are not permitted to leave this building until authorized. Is there a problem with that?"
You will find no problem from us.
Does that go for all of you?
Yes. Could I do my very small part and contribute to your local economy by purchasing some food at this establishment?
Inside? Yes, you can, but your rooms have been taken care of. Any food or drink, that's on you. We're not feeding you.
I didn't expect as such.
Is that good for everyone? I
You
haven't
will have
heard.
no
What was that, Shiny?
You will have no complaints.
What about you, Dwarf?
Stare at him.
Does this one not speak?
Very rarely.
Well, at least give me a nod that you understand.
Don't even do that.
Do we need to go ahead and take this one into custody and get this over with? He's now
You
looking
will
at
go
all of
in
you.
with us. Don't make this any more difficult than it needs to be.
If that was gonna cause a problem, it would have happened already.
I need a confirmation that there isn't going to be a problem.
Are you gonna make a problem? I'm not gonna make a problem.
All right. Inside you go. He motions to a few that are with him. They take positions outside the front door, and one stands inside. You enter the inn, which you've been to before. You stayed there, while the remaining guards station themselves outside the building. As you enter, the music stops. The room grows quiet. A couple patrons get up and leave. As they're leaving, one shoulder checks Justinian while the other nearly shoves Marsland down.
What the fuck did I do?
Acquaintance. That's it. That's all it means for these people.
Guilty of association.
By the way, Marsland, have I thanked you for this wonderful cloak?
I fail to see why you bring this up right now.
You see in the back, those that have been here before, the Centaur innkeeper standing behind the bar, just watching the exchange intently. What do you want to do?
I would like to go up to. I'm assuming are we getting waited on? Is there a bartender?
There's
What's
there's a bar. bartender, and the
Okay.
tables are open. Yep.
But okay, I'll go up to the bartender.
Well, I'd never have guessed or betted I'd see any of you here again. Take a seat. Probably be safer here at the bar than out at the tables.
Why do you say that?
Have you looked
Look at-
around?
That's fair.
You take a quick
Pull-
glance, and it's just like daggers staring at all of you as you move toward the bar. The longer you stay there, the music softly returns, though hesitant, and what was the loud laughing and merriment before has now turned into a low mumble as the music plays on. You definitely know how to make an entrance. Why in the nine hells are you back here?
Make an entrance. We simply just walked back in.
But you're not supposed to be here.
That is true. But we have it on Queen's orders that we are allowed to be here. But that is why we're here currently, because they don't believe our documents are real, but I would rather be cut dead than be carrying around falsified documents.
Yeah, but they don't know that. And you didn't leave on the best terms, did you?
We are very sorry for what happened. We did try to put you in a better spot than you could have been in, I suppose, but it was not a good circumstance for anyone.
Where's your little half-naked friend? And the cat?
No longer adventuring with us.
I see. You picked up 2 new strays.
We have. I think they are in higher moral regard than the 2 that they replace, particularly the cat.
I hope you've been staying away from fire and things.
This is like if this was a video game where you just like create the save file and then cast Fireball just to see what happens, so you can like rewind and go back.
Only in our chaotic evil run, or maybe lawful evil run.
I'm sorry. I'd like to light my cigar. Do you have a match?
Well, either way, your rooms have been secured. Can I get you anything to eat or drink?
What is your finest meal that you have available currently?
Yeah, I think we've got squirrel tonight. We had an
Squirrel.
overpopulation as most of their homes were destroyed. If you want
Really
real
just-
fancy, we can wrap it in pixie wings.
Pixie wings.
Believe she's taking a passive stab at what happened to the
Tree.
area in question.
Hmm.
I'm gonna plop 20 gold onto the bar.
All right,
This-
that'll buy you 2 drinks and 2 meals. What's everybody else want?
2 meals and 2 drinks per person?
10 gold for a meal with a drink.
Ah,
Crap.
is that your the regular pricing?
Sorry, it's out of my hands. I was told what to charge you.
I'll put in on another
Sure
30.
you were.
So that's 50 altogether. For the meal for tonight. And drink.
Sorry, it's not my doing. He scoops it off the bar there and kind of turns around and puts half his body into the kitchen area and
Real quick,
yep.
why 50 when one of us doesn't eat or drink?
There's 5 people here.
The bishop doesn't eat or drink.
But Quentin, the 20 gold was there intentionally for the rooms, even though it was a sign of good faith, which they immediately turned around and said, no,
Screw your
that's
good
going to be the
faith.
cost. Yeah, that's going to be the cost of the meals.
Well, the rooms are taken care of already.
Yes. Quentin, I know that you have some animosity here, but if you could, for a period of time, please put that aside until we can secure what needs to be secured here.
I mean,
I understand.
sure.
I understand being falsely accused, and the situation is not pleasant for anybody.
I mean, sure. I'll just continue not talking. It's fine.
You're Quentin. Your insight is most valuable, and when you
No,
hold it to yourself,
it's no worries.
when you hold it to yourself, Quentin, it impacts everybody.
I just like to watch things play out.
Well, they did, and there was 50 gold on the table, and you are welcome to Bishop's portion of food.
I mean, I don't need that much food.
It looks like squirrel is on the menu.
Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
He returns back. He's carrying the 5 mugs in one hand, and he's got the plates balanced out, and he just kind of tosses them onto the counter. You see this rodent-style piece of meat with a skewer through the mouth. It's sharp teeth are out in almost like a scream of pain as he sets it in front of you.
Is it a
Sorry.
flash fire?
I have to do what I'm told. Ever since they brought these mercenary soldiers, the town runs a tight ship.
Frost Reavers?
Frost Reavers.
Yeah, is
Never
that the
heard
name
of
of the
them.
mercenaries?
No, from what I've heard, there were a group of them hiding in the woods to the north. Somewhere near Briarfork is the rumor. Their leader left to investigate some new opportunities and never returned. So one of his seconds, a gnome that goes by the name Ugly Pete, negotiated a deal with Ceres after your incident. The Folly has never really had guards or army as much before, but now we are fully watched.
Interesting. Mercenaries running the town.
No, it sounds like the guy from Candor's Keep's still running the town. He's just got hired help.
No, he's dead.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The peaceful guy's like, he's dead.
What was the origins of his death, by the way?
Suicide.
Ah, okay. Good call. Thank you, Encyclopedia of Isles of Frisia.
But enough about this small rat town. What have you all been up to?
Saving the world.
Oh, small things I see.
Been putting evil away and traveling around into caves and sailing all over Frisia and communicating and helping the gods, and that's just to name a couple of things.
I'll have you know that these 3 in particular, who have driven such animosity out of the citizens here, are the reason why the plague that devastated all of this island and many more is now a thing of the past.
Oh, believe me, no matter what good you've done, the people here hate you.
I'm just letting a pair of ears become privy that they're not all bad.
When did you start calling yourselves the Kandorian Firestarters?
We didn't.
You didn't! Huh. Well, that's what I've heard. That you came
I'm gonna
back
look at
bragging in
I'm gonna
Kandor's
look at the
camp
rest of
about
the
it.
team.
I think that might be a local name. We are known as the Light Unsparkers, as the symbol would indicate.
I'm sorry, did you say that these three went back to Candor's Keep and started bragging about setting Parents' Folly on fire?
Well, that's what we heard.
Oh, we certainly did not do that. We all felt miserably bad about what happened.
Well, they said you danced in the streets.
This is outrageous. This is but a tale.
Do you honestly believe that this isn't Cyrus Moore's doing?
Does Bishop look like the type, or me for that matter, to dance?
You, maybe. Bishop, no.
We were trying to have justice served from the party member that not only started the fire, but lied to everyone about doing it. After helping save this town, or what we could, and then being chastised by its people, we tried to put things right.
Well, you know how fishermen's tales get. That's why the place is named that way. Light Unsparkers. It's an interesting choice. Whose idea was that?
We'll look at Marsland.
Everybody looks at Mars.
Everybody looks at Marsland.
It might have been mine.
What does that mean?
I'm not the quickest thinker. You've heard of the Shadowsparks, surely?
Yeah, we've heard of them.
Well, we aim to be everything the opposite of them, and well, Shadowspark, Light, you see where this is going.
When you use, like, dowsers or something, the light dowsers, something that means something.
You don't use
I-
unspark frequently in your day-to-day verbiage?
I'm pretty sure the only time I have is to make fun of this name.
I lean over into Marsland's ear and I whisper, "Don't you actually want to be exactly like one of the Shadowsparks?" And then I just turn back and face the centaur.
Well, they wish to disown themselves from the Shadowspark, so now's not the place to discuss that.
Yes, I believe we are done talking.
Oh. Well, enjoy your meal. If you need anything, need another drink, let me know.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I've never been to Parents' Folly before. Is it customary to tip here?
I won't say no.
I'll just slide 2 gold to him.
Scoops it up and just nods at you.
All right, so I sit down to eat. Is this actually squirrel or is this rat?
From the looks of it, you're not really sure. It could easily go either way.
Does it smell like crow?
No. It actually smells good for what it is. I mean, it's seasoned and everything.
So I just quietly eat. Look at Gwenton. Look at Anax. Look at Bishop. Look at Marsland. I just keep eating.
It's good.
I'll slide my plate over to him.
You have
Marsland.
an extra plate.
Marsland, aren't you going to eat?
You look like you're enjoying this far more than I will.
You snob.
It
is.
actually tastes really good. There's some smoked paprika in here, maybe some cumin.
I'll take a bite.
It's really good.
I'll take another bite. Then
Still
another,
good?
then I'm gonna slowly slide the plate back in front of me. Are there any windows in this place?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna every so often just kind of be looking out the windows and observing what kind of hustle and bustle's happening in, if any, in the town.
So you see, I mean, people are just going about their daily business. You can see every now and then a small child will like peek inside, trying to take a look at you all, and then
Word spread.
Yeah, oh yeah, small town, it's going to spread fast. One kid, he's looking in, and he kind of catches your eye, so you kind of make eye contact. And he's just staring at you, and then as you stare at him, you see his hand move, and he just pulls one of these, and then he takes off running.
These kids here are very poorly mannered.
You
Probably
learned that from
only
somewhere.
to people that burned down their childhood homes.
And if all you've heard is about the terrible goings on of the Kandorian fire starters,
Fire starters.
then how else would you anticipate them acting?
Especially when you guys bragged about doing it. Like,
We did not brag about it. In fact, none of us present are even responsible for it.
The town was here during the trial, if I understand correctly. I'm fairly certain it was an open trial. Right?
It
Quentin,
was
Bishop,
an open
Marsland?
trial.
Mm-hmm.
And
They all saw us.
the fact that the only one of us that got marked for exile is the only one of us not here shows that in some aspect they knew Jade was the cause.
Well, I will bring to the forefront that the person that was apprehended and brought to Kandor's Keep is now the spiritual leader again here in Parents Folly.
Which is why I said he is probably the one that spread the lies.
Do we
We
know anything
embarrassed him.
about? Yes. Do we know anything about the mercenaries?
Other than they were kidnapping people from Briar's Fork and sending them to Kandor's Keep for experimentation, they should all be. And I just go quiet.
Thinking back on your conversation with Anax on the
Yes.
ship. that pulls a heartstring with you too, Anax.
Yeah. That. This is a difficult scenario. Everybody. So, let's make sure that whatever decision is made, that we are ready and that it is justified. Remember, we are coming here in peace. Let's try to exercise that as diligently as possible.
I fully agree.
All right. You hear padded footsteps coming from the back as you turn and see Jade arrive. No.
It's I am the one that took over this sound. With threats of fire.
What are you doing here? My business is my own.
Day passes into night. You notice the tavern kind of empties out.
This is the longest I have gone without casting a spell in months.
You'll be fine. You are not the only weaver of magic here. Looking
I'm
over,
well aware of what Quentin and Marcelin do.
looking at Marcelin, who's just twitching.
Right. Like, literally,
Want to
he
do
can't
something?
move, so he can't write about anything. Like, he is stuck without both of his favorite activities.
Well, barkeep,
Yes.
may we take our leave and go to our rooms?
Absolutely. I've got your keys. He lines up a key for each of you on the counter.
Thank you. I'll take a key.
I think it would be better if we all stayed in one room, or we stuck to 2 rooms.
The rooms are pretty small. It'd be very tight.
I understand. I am in a place where I'm being judged for a crime I did not commit. I'm a little uneasy, and since I can't leave this building, I would prefer to be around one of my friends while I slept.
I know you have no reason to trust me, but you're safe here.
Thank you. Everybody, let's go find a room and take a look and plan accordingly. Thank you very much.
He nods at you. Bishop, do you take a key?
I'll take a key, but I'm gonna stand out in the hallway.
All night?
Yep.
That's what I was thinking.
All right.
First, look at the layout of what the hallway looks like, so you're not blocking other residents of the inn to getting around this giant statue.
Just in and
What's
taking
it
a
look
key?
like? Is it just like are we all
I'll take
on
a
one
key.
side? No, okay.
Yeah, no, it's like a typical hotel where there's doors on each
Yeah.
side. Yeah.
Doors on each side.
Yep.
Are all? I know. I'm just asking. Are all of our rooms on one side? Are they split? Are they all the way at the end?
They stagger 1 1 1 1 1 1. So
Okay,
kind of
all
grouped
right.
up. Yep.
Okay, so still kind of grouped up.
Yep. Marcelin taking a key.
Absolutely.
Gwynton,
Yep.
as you take your key, Gwynton, He slides an ale over to you. This one's on the house. No hard feelings.
Oh, I have no hard feelings with you. You haven't done anything to us.
I feel like I'm a victim and a benefactor in one go. I just want to make it right. So, as a dwarf, I know you drink more than others, so
No, I haven't tipsy yet. No, I understand you're just doing as you're told. It's just the town's rebuilding. I get it. So but I appreciate the gesture.
all for you. You take it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This poison, I'm gonna die.
As you take it and grab the handle feels different to you. It feels loose.
I will grab the other side of the ale.
Not
To
loose
hold.
like that, like it kind of spins, like it unscrews.
Okay. I will take it to my room with me then.
Okay. Who's staying in the hallway?
I'm staying in the hallway.
Okay.
I will take the room that's in between all of them,
Okay.
and I will stand in front of my door, and that's where I'm going to post up for the night.
Okay.
Since even when I'm sleeping, I'm still conscious of everything that's going on around me.
Right. Everyone else going to their room?
I'm gonna go in my room.
Marsden, are you doing anything this evening?
No.
Annex, go into your room.
Remember, everybody, no magic. Even if you think it's undetected, let's not
I
bring
guess
any reason.
I just laugh at him and I go into my door and close it while he's still talking.
Immediately you see a light.
No, no, thanks.
I will map out like my room and the hallways and all that kind of stuff to understand the
Okay.
exact layout.
Gwynton?
Just in case.
Once I'm in mine, I try to see if that handle unscrews and what's.
It does. And when you unscrew, you see it's hollowed out on the inside and there's a small parchment.
I'll take that out and read it.
It just simply says, find a way to talk in private.
Do I think it means to talk to him?
Yeah, you could assume.
Okay.
Just talk to anybody in private.
Yeah, right. I'm like, him or us? Okay.
Anyone doing anything tonight?
I'm just keeping an eye out in the hallway.
Yes, I'm going to do something that I have never done before. I'm going to actually pray to Sylvanas.
Okay.
And I am going to ask that he find the grace to help rebuild the forest for these people as soon as possible. And even if he has to take some of the power that Ferrandis has bestowed upon me to do it, the forest needs healed.
Okay. You send your prayer up. And then just resting?
Yep, just going to sleep.
Okay. Everyone goes into a restful sleep.
Oh
I was
no.
gonna try to sneak out after a few hours to see if I can find the.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need all of you except for Justinian to mute. And
Huh?
just hold up a finger when you're muted. Still waiting for Marsland. All right. Got you still Justinian, right?
Yep. Got me.
Right. You settle into your bed and get comfortable the best way you know how. Since developing your antlers, sleeping in a normal bed can be challenging and uncomfortable, as you're well aware. Still, you struggle to get to sleep. You close your eyes and settle your mind's thoughts as to what to do next, hoping the calmness lets you rest easy. You toss and turn, unable to grow comfortable here as you feel dread enter your mind. An uneasy feeling of being observed. Your eyes jut open, surveying the room. In the shadows of your room, you see a figure standing, watching as you turn in your sleep. The figure emerges from the shadows. Tall and willowy, moving with an unnatural grace, she moves towards you. Her long, stark white hair spills over her shoulders and down her back, shifting as if caught in a breeze that isn't there. Her eyes gleam white in the darkness, catching your attention, and she has a sly smile as she glides towards you. Your body tries to flinch in reaction to the movement, but your muscles have seized tight. You can only watch. She wears a flowing black gown with jagged edges, as though parts of the fabric have been torn away by unseen claws. The garment shimmers oddly, shifting between the silk of a noble's dress and the ragged thread of a beggar's cloak. Atop her head, blackened antlers curl outward, jagged and twisted, resembling lightning caught mid-strike. And then she looks at you. A slow, deliberate tilt of the head. A smile, mocking, knowing. Welcome home, Justinian. And just like that, she's gone, vanishing into the shadows as if she was never there at all. You sit up in your bed, your body in a cold sweat. The window in the room has opened on its own, and the chill of the night air puts almost ice in the room. It's quiet now. What do you do?
I'm gonna get up and I close the window and I look down at my grimoire and the hilt of the sword. And I just shake uncomfortably until I can fall over and fall asleep.
You struggle to get back to sleep, but sleep eventually comes. But tonight, there are no peaceful dreams for you. you'll take 1 rank of exhaustion for tonight, as it's hard to get that rested sleep. And that is where we're going to end tonight. Motion everybody to come back. Everybody back? Come back. Baby, come back. I better message all to you.
I don't know if Biddle's even watching the screen.
Yep. That's why I sent a message.
Back.
All right. And that's where we're going to end tonight. And the first thing I saw was Marston look over at the clock to say why. Is everybody back?
Yep.
Back.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm for the bonus action. I'm gonna need you to tell me everything that went on.
Nope.
I've tried that before. I'm like, I can't write it up if I don't know.
and I trust that you all won't go watch this part. So
Nope, it's fine. I haven't
So
yet.
much trust.
well,
According to Twitch and YouTube, I did watch it.
yeah, you did technically watch it, but didn't watch it, right? So, this is the kind of stuff that's easier to do around a table because you just have everyone leave. But when you're in a recorded state, there's a lot of trust, like the trust contract that's got to go on that you're not going to go do that because it takes fun out of it. We'll just Justinian, give us an overall reaction or feeling.
Fuck.
What?
Oh man.
See, so
Oh,
now
no.
we're gonna have to take him back to Smyrna and just drop his ass off. And be like, dude.
Why? Everything's all right.
Sure.
You can
Dreaded
message-
thoughts that you
can-
lied to Marsland. And now this.
You can message me things. I may or may not give you answers to any of this, but
So before we sign off for the night, just how amazing was it that you had that planned at the same night that I had that conversation with Marsland? That was great.
yeah,
Yeah.
Hmm.
interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what happened?
You'll find out next week.
Oh,
Maybe,
next week.
yeah.
Or
I
no,
don't
2
know.
weeks, I guess.
I was gonna
2
say,
weeks,
you're gonna
yeah,
be gone.
So to everybody, and I didn't say at the beginning of the show, we are out next week. I'll be traveling. So we'll be back the next week, and then we'll be out the actual next week. So, yeah. And we'll be out those 2 weeks because I don't think I'm going to be ready to DM after the Koi's thing. So we'll be back a week, off 2 weeks, and then we'll be back that second week of April or so, whatever it is.
Do we just want to do maybe a talk that Monday night about Koi's?
Yeah.
Or
we
you
could
think
do
you won't
that.
even have? Huh?
No, we can do that.
Okay.
I just won't be ready to DM.
Right. Absolutely. Okay.
So, yeah. So that Monday the 7th, we'll be here and we'll just talk about some things. We'll just have a fun little
Hey, that gives
stream.
us plenty of time for Biddle to go over our characters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there you
absolutely.
go.
Still
then we'll
waiting
be
on some character creations to go on.
Marsland.
Yeah. I've been busy.
Probably me and Lauren.
Yeah. And then we'll be for sure back the 14th. So yeah. So we won't be with you next week. So we leave you on that kind of a cliffhanger
my
for
God,
next
that's
week.
so great.
Wait, are we done?
Yeah, we are done. We are done.
That makes me a little sad.
It doesn't make me sad.
Oh my God, I'm sure not.
So thank you all for coming out with us tonight. We appreciate your time, and for those listening on Spotify or Apple Music and all that stuff, thank you for listening along and following along. We always appreciate that. This is a good ride along. Freaking, you're driving down the road, listen to the story. Don't forget, there's bonus actions out there. Sarah Bear, as always, we appreciate you stopping by. I think I can do this. This has been a while, so dun, dun, dun. That it does. Playing they're playing Once Human. Actually a really fun game. I just couldn't get behind the season changes thing. It's actually a really solid game. For a free game too. Yeah. So we will be with you on Wednesday for the Call the Wild stream and for this month, Hunting Lions. So if you have the game, come out and join us. You are more than welcome to hop in, chat with us. If you're panda eating pancakes, you can talk to us. You don't have to just be the invisible guy lying
We
about
know you
your
have a
numbers.
Discord.
Yeah, we know you have a Discord. Yeah, we know. So, but come by, see that. I won the last hunt with a fantastically large bear, but I don't typically win.
It's because you use, every once in a while you use the server hacks to win, but usually you keep it just under so we don't get suspicious.
Yeah, sure. That's what happens.
Mhm.
That's exactly what happened. I think lions are going to be a little more fun because they fight back. So we've got to find a time to do tigers too, because tigers really fight back. Those guys are
Right.
jerks. But again, thank you all for coming out. Don't forget to check out Half-Ass Beer Review, Truth Beer Podcaster, and Banter and Babble. And until next time, we will see you in the dungeon. Take care, everyone.
The end is upon us, I promise you novices don't want no problem with me. So watch how you talking and where you been walking, they call me the BBEG. I'm more than a little OP, I do what I want to, that's a mantra. Keep 'em running and gunning like Contra, I'm a monster. The end is upon us, I promise you novices don't want no problem with me. So watch how you talking and where you been walking, they call me the BBEG. I'm more than a little OP, I do what I want to, yeah that's a mantra. I keep 'em running and gunning like Contra, yo I'm a monster, turn it up. What you know about the final boss? I got him trying to buy time with the sign of the cross. I redefine high crime and the meaning of loss. I'm off hip, but I body like I'm playing lacrosse. Beat to the EG, I'm keeping them queasy. I make it seem easy, acknowledge me. I've been demolishing your cities, I'm astonishingly sleazy. I'm the big bad, y'all must be the cast. I'm killing the master, villain, a blast, a disaster. Really a rap bastard, willing to rap fast for the masses. I ravage all races and classes. Savage, I can't stop myself. Thinking of all the ways I can top myself. On God, I can move like a devil. I hope you and your squad are ready for the last level that ends here. The end is upon us, I promise.